Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into one of history's most profound and maybe most misunderstood figures, Niccolo Machiavelli.
I mean, you know the word, right? Machiavellian. We throw it around all the time, usually when we're talking about some politician who's maybe a little too hungry for power. But here's the thing. Do we really know the man and the full-blown revolution behind that name?
For most of us, he's just this original immoral schemer. A smart but kind of minor political advisor from Renaissance Florence. Someone whose ideas just get tossed in the evil pile and dismissed. But what if that's completely wrong? According to Harvey Mansfield over at Harvard, and this guy has spent his entire life studying him, Machiavelli isn't some footnote in a history book. No way. He is the founder of our modern world, the guy responsible for the very political and even scientific reality that we all live in today. Now, that is a huge claim. I mean, think about it. It suggests that for Machiavelli to build our world, he first had to launch this quiet, this silent revolution against the old one. And his targets? Oh, just the two biggest pillars of Western thought, classical philosophy and Christianity. So let's dive in. His number one target was Christianity. He saw it as this massive system that basically ran the world by focusing on these imaginary ideals. All about how things should be, instead of looking at the world as it actually is. And he said it was this total paradox. On the one hand, he thought it was way too cruel. It asked people to basically crush their own nature, all for some reward in the afterlife. But on the other hand, it was too weak. It was militant in belief, sure, but it couldn't actually command armies and unite the world with force here on Earth. So it was just strong enough to keep everyone divided, but not nearly strong enough to actually conquer them. Okay, so if the old world's operating system, this code of goodness, was a total failure in his eyes, what's the replacement? Well, Machiavelli offered a new, all-powerful principle, something he said governs everything we do: necessity. And for Machiavelli, necessity isn't just, I need to find food. No, it's the fundamental law of the universe for humans. It's this idea that people aren't good just because they choose to be. We're good only when circumstances force us to be, when our backs are against the wall. And this drive, it's endless. It's like a ladder you can never get off of. Step one is just surviving today, right? Meeting your immediate needs. But then, you realize there are rivals out there. So for step two, you've got to start acquiring stuff for the future to protect yourself. But that drive never, ever stops. It just keeps escalating until you hit step three, acquiring for glory. The ultimate need becomes having more than anyone else, achieving that honor and that power. So, with this new foundation of necessity in place, Machiavelli starts building. He starts forging the intellectual tools that would literally define the modern age. And this wasn't just about politics. He was about to change the very nature of truth itself. He comes up with this brand new idea of truth he calls the effectual truth. Now, before Machiavelli, truth was all about ideals, intentions, these perfect, heavenly concepts. Machiavelli just took that and flipped it completely on its head. He basically said, nope, the only truth that matters is the one that has a real effect in the real world. In other words, the truth is simply what works. And this is maybe Mansfield's most mind-blowing claim. This one idea, this focus on results, on observable cause and effect, well, it becomes the secret ingredient, the unacknowledged seed of the modern scientific method that Francis Bacon establishes a century later. Think about it. Our science today is totally Machiavellian. It doesn't care about the why in a moral or philosophical sense. It only cares about the how in a practical, observable one. But okay, his revolution wasn't just some abstract philosophical thing. It directly built the political world we live in. The very structures we take for granted every single day were shaped by him. We're living in a world that operates on his principles, whether we even realize it or not. And it's wild when you see the list of his inventions. The modern executive, the leader who says they're just executing the will of the people, that's his idea. How about indirect government? The whole idea that the real power is hidden, it's in the management, the backroom deals, that's him too. The idea that all politics, even at home, is really just a competition between enemies? Yep. And get this, even party politics. The concept that a state is made stronger by conflict between groups, not harmony. That all came from him. You see, Machiavelli's revolution was so successful, so complete, that we barely even see his influence anymore. It's like the air we breathe. It has simply become our reality. He taught the world to value power and results so highly that we just stopped questioning the philosophy that told us to do it.
Which leaves us with a pretty unsettling final thought, doesn't it? Machiavelli argued that the old world's focus on goodness was just an illusion, so he replaced it with the relentless logic of necessity. So in this world that he helped build, the one we live in now, have we done the same? And if so, what have we gained and what have we lost?